Hi, welcome to my channel, and today I have another theatre vlog for you. So today I'm going to go and see a SpongeBob musical at the Manchester Opera House. I'm sat in the stalls today. I can't remember what seat I'm on. It actually starts at 7, so I'm actually running a little bit late, so I need to hurry up and go so I get there on time. So obviously I will show you any merch that they've got, and I will review the show for you once I get home. So yeah, I'm going to head out now, get the tram, and I'll get back to you once I'm at the theatre. So it's now 6 o'clock, I'm just at the tram station. It's 2 minutes till the tram, got my tram ticket. It starts at 7 today, so hopefully I'll get there in time. Hopefully it'll only take about 20 minutes on the tram, so should still have time to look at the merch and stuff before the show starts. So I'll probably get back to you now once I am in town. So it's now 20 past 6, just got off the tram at St. Peter's Square. Just gonna walk up to the theatre now. Hopefully I'll get there for 6:30, so I should have plenty of time to like look at the merch and stuff before it starts at 7. So I'll get back to you now once I'm at the theatre.
Sunny days, no clouds in the sky, but I get away. Feels like it's been a freaking decade. Sorry, don't call me 'cause I'm gonna be on break. Sunny day, make way. All the stress and doubt, yeah, not today. Feels like it's been a freaking decade. Sorry, don't call me 'cause I'm gonna be on break. Got the Tropicana, fresh cut sushi on a platter. Brandy, honey, it don't matter, shots till I drop. Gonna be 24/7, golden hour like a boss. And they say, yo, guess you got a 2 o'clock appointment for a champagne shot, whoa, yeah. I'm busy trying to take it higher. Got no time for never, only spending cheddar. Wish I could do this forever. Chilling with the hottest company. They all wanna welcome me to their private penthouse suite. Yeah, now I got the key. Rooftop pool, got a heli on speed. Ocean view from the highest peak. I'm complete, oh, I want this to stay. Please don't go away. Sunny days, no clouds in the sky, about to get away. Feels like it's been a freaking decade. Sorry, don't call me 'cause I'm gonna be on break. Sunny day, make way. All the stress and doubt, yeah, not today. Feels like it's been a freaking decade. Sorry, don't call me 'cause I'm gonna...
Okay, so I just arrived at the theatre now. They've got this thing across the road from it. You can't actually stand back and get a good picture anymore, but I'm gonna go across and get in. There's not much of a queue, although I say that a few people are arriving now, so yeah, I'm gonna go and head in now. So it is 6:30 now. I'm just in the queue for the merch booth, just hoping to get a magnet and a house program. So hopefully I can film the price list for you and show you what they've got. Just picked up my program and magnet. Not sure how much the magnet was because it didn't actually say on the price list, so I have no idea how much the magnet was. But I've got something over there. I'm probably going to head to my seat now in the stalls. It's getting very busy in the foyer, so I'm going to go head to my seat. Okay, so this is my ticket, so I'm in the stalls, seat Q26. Okay, so I'm in the stalls today, row Q, seat 26. I actually paid £12 for my ticket, so It's a really cheap ticket today. So yeah, it's just down here. Okay, so I'm on row Q, seat 26, so I'm on this side, at the end of the row. So if you want booster seats for this show, they've got them here by the stage. So it is now about 5 to, so she's starting about 5 minutes. I'm in my seat. I've got my programme. The view's actually really good from here. Considering I only paid £12 a ticket, it's a really good view. So just show you the view and then I'll get back to you at the interval. Okay, so this is my view from my seat. So it's a really, really good view. I'm on the end seat on an aisle, so should have a really good view from here. Yeah, looking forward to it. Let's start now. So we're 20 minutes in and there's a show stop already. I'm just going to quickly run to the toilet while it's stopped. Yeah, so the show stops. Hi, so it's now the interval and I'm really enjoying it so far. The costumes are really cool. All the songs are really good and really catchy. There's a bit of trouble with the sound, some of the microphones are coming on in time, but other than that, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. The story's not great, but the songs are really good. So I will tell you more about it once I get home. So the show has finished now. It's really good. Really enjoyed it. I'll tell you all about it when we get home. Hi, so I am now back from the show and I thought I'd just give you a quick review. So obviously I went to see the SpongeBob musical at the Manchester Opera House tonight. The show started at 7 p.m, which is a little earlier than usual. Most shows start at 7:30, but I think as this is aimed for more at children, I think that's why it had the earliest start time. However, saying that, it was actually not that full considering it was a Friday night. And obviously the children won't have school the next day. I was actually surprised how quiet the theatre was. They actually had closed the grand tier off and had moved everyone down to the stalls or the circle. So they only had the 2 levels instead of the 3rd level. They've also drastically reduced the tickets for the show. They slashed the prices to half price not long ago through the Manchester Theatre website, and then a couple of days ago they reduced all remaining tickets to £10. You had to go through the Manchester Theatre website to get them at £10, but yeah, they're just not selling very well, and I don't know why, because the show was actually amazing. I'm not even a fan of SpongeBob the cartoon. I don't really like it, but the musical was excellent. It was really, really good. So I don't know why it's not sold so well. Everyone that was there, all the kids that were at the show, absolutely loved it, and all the adults did too. Maybe it just needs a bit more promotion, I don't know, but it definitely deserved to have a full house. It really did. It was such a good show and I really enjoyed myself. So for the show I was actually sat in the stalls. I was on row Q, seat 26, which was it was on the left hand side on the aisle, and it was a really good view from those seats. I didn't realise how actually close you were in row Q. It sounds like it's quite far back, but it actually wasn't. So actually from sitting there, I actually regretting, I bought some tickets for Winnie the Musical, and my options were either to sit at the back of the stalls or the back of the circle with the children. So I thought, oh, they might not see very well at the back of the stalls, so I picked the back of the circle, and I'm really regretting that decision now, because actually the back of the stalls is still actually quite close, and I think the children probably will see better there with a booster seat than they will up at the top. So yeah, from now being there, so I've never really sat at the back of the Opera House much. I tend to sit in the circle at the Opera House. So yeah, I'm sort of regretting that decision now after sitting there tonight, but never mind. Anyway, on to SpongeBob. Yeah, so I was sat in row Q, seat 26. View excellent, really good view, good leg room. Definitely recommend that seat. Like I said, I actually only paid £12 for my ticket because it was half price through the Manchester Theatre website. So it was a great view at a great price. So there was quite a bit of merch for this show. Obviously the show is by Nickelodeon, so they did have quite a bit of merch. They had t-shirts, they had a sweatshirt, they had socks, they had a beanie, they had key rings, pin set, magnet, what else did they have? Pen, a tumbler, and they also had a plush toy of Gary the snail that is SpongeBob's pet. Oh, and obviously they also had programs. I think they had their own like brochure program, and then they had the house programs. The house programs weren't being sold with the other merch because I think they had their own merch team, so I had to get the program from a kiosk. I'm not actually sure how much their brochure program was. It wasn't on the price list. Also the magnet wasn't on the price list either, so I don't know if maybe I would have been better off getting that, but I just went for the house program. The house program was £5.50, and I've had a flick through this, and this is actually quite a nice house program compared to some of the others which are just cast list and that's it. There's a bit of information here, not a lot, but there's some nice pictures in there, so it's quite a nice one. And obviously the quality is so much better. The pages are nice and thick. This is much better quality than the last few I've had from the Palace and Opera House, so hopefully the quality is going to stay like this, because this is a nice one. So yeah, I did buy the magnet. There you go, and I've just checked and I paid £5 for that. That was £5. And when you bought your programme, they gave you this little sort of wristband, and this during the show enters you into sort of like a giveaway. I think they ask anyone that has a wristband to shout, and then the person that shouts the loudest they give a free Nick watch to. Obviously they're not going to give the watch to adults, they're for children, so an adult is not going to win this competition, it is for children. But I just picked up one of those. In fact, I'll probably give it to one of my children, they might like that to play with. So yeah, they do a good giveaway. It's just before the second act starts, they do that, and they actually give one of the Nick watches away, which is quite good because they're quite expensive. It also has a discount code for you on here. It says you can get it for the special price of $49.99, so I'm not sure how much they are full price, because to me that's still very expensive. So obviously the musical is based on the TV series SpongeBob SquarePants, which is a Nickelodeon show. It's been going for years. I'm sure it was on in the 90s when my brothers were little and they used to watch it, so it's been going for a long time. And I think I've read that it's been on in about 170 countries and translated into over 30 languages, so it obviously has a huge fan base. So the plot for the musical is Bikini Bottom is under threat from a volcano that is about to erupt and wipe the town out. So SpongeBob and his friends, Patrick the starfish and Sandy Cheeks the squirrel who lives underwater. She's like a scientist, and she invents things, so she lives underwater. She has a special suit so that she can live underwater. They have to work together to try and stop this volcano from erupting. A side story is that Plankton, who is played by Divina De Campo, and his computer wife, who is played by Hannah Lauver, they want to take advantage of the situation, and they suggest that the townspeople make or buy an escape pod to run away from the volcano. And he wants to do this so that they're all together in one place, and he can hypnotise them into loving his chum burgers. So that is sort of a side plot that's going on. So the story was a really simple story, but obviously most SpongeBob stories are simple stories, and obviously the show is mostly aimed at kids, so it didn't need a big complex story, and it worked well for the show. So the thing I loved the most actually about this musical was the music. I loved all the songs in this musical. There's not many musicals I watch and I like all the songs. Usually there's a few that I really don't like, but I really liked all of them in this musical. The songs are actually all done by different artists. They actually got a lot of different popular artists to contribute to the track list, the song list. So you've got people like Panic at the Disco, Cyndi Lauper and John Legend, who have all done songs for the show. I don't think I can pick a favourite, but two that really stood out for me was the opening number called Bikini Bottom Day. Loved that one, that was really catchy, and it was a good way of introducing everyone to all the characters. My other one that I really stood out for me was Not Just a Simple Sponge, which was sung by Louis Cornet, who plays SpongeBob. Louis had a great voice actually, he was really good, and he sung that song perfectly. and it's been going around in my head ever since. Such a good song, really good. So that's another one that I enjoyed. And also the way that song is staged is so good. What they do is they sort of black out the stage. The ensemble are dressed in like black outfits so you can't see them, and they're holding like fluorescent sponges, and they move these sponges around to create shapes and faces, and it's just really good. It's just a really good way of staging that song. Really enjoyed that bit. So the set for this was quite simple. However, when I first walked into the auditorium and saw the set, it really stands out, and it just looks really fun and bright and colourful, and it got me excited for the show. However, like I said, it's quite simple. It consists of like, it has like a flat set piece on one side to represent the Chum Bucket restaurant, and then on the opposite side it has another flat set piece to represent the Krusty Krab restaurant, which is where SpongeBob works. And then on each of those there is a screen mounted on it, which throughout the show shows various things. Mostly they show clips of like news reports about the upcoming volcano eruption. So they have those bits of set, and then the back of the stage has what looks like a sunken ship with alcoves in it, which is where the band are. So you see the band on stage throughout the whole performance, and they're in these alcoves on the like sunken ship part. That bit also has a few screens on it which shows images of like sea life, sea creatures. So I think they show jellyfish at one point and fish and things, probably to remind you that you are actually supposed to be under the sea, because it's not actually that obvious that you're under the sea, because the characters aren't actually dressed like sea creatures. Their costumes are more like people dressed in outfits to sort of represent those characters. So like Patrick Star wears sort of like a pink beanie on his head with he's got pink tie-dye t-shirt with pink arms, so sort of look like the star shape and represent him. SpongeBob wears a yellow shirt with bubbles on it, with a red tie and shorts, so he looks a bit like the character, but he isn't actually in a character costume. I suppose if you think of like Disney bounding, where you dress to look like the character, so say if you like Winnie the Pooh, you'd wear like a red top and a yellow skirt, so you look similar to the character but you're not actually dressed as the character. I'd say that's how they have done the costuming for this show. I actually really loved the costuming. I felt it was really clever the way they did it, and I enjoyed it. I thought the costumes were great. So one set piece that I did find a little bit disappointing was the volcano. Because they go on about how big and humongous this volcano is. It's actually called Mount Humongous, and they go on about how it's so difficult to scale. People have died scaling this mountain, and then when you see it, it's just a little underwhelming. It's made from plastic bottles, and the reason they've done that is to represent ocean pollution and how plastic gets thrown into the ocean. So I understand why they use the plastic bottles. But yeah, it just looked underwhelming. It wasn't very tall. It wasn't much taller than the cast members. So when they were supposed to be scaling this thing, it just didn't seem like it took much effort. I mean, they did also bring in sort of steps, which are made from, like, had plastic bottles, and they had these steps which they would walk up to look like they were scaling the mountain, and they would move these around, and as they were walking up the steps they would throw off the plastic bottles, make it look like it's difficult to climb, and they have to throw things out of the way to scale it. So I say they did the best with the prop that they had, but yeah, it was just a little disappointing. I thought it would have maybe been much bigger, or I don't know, it just was a little underwhelming. So I thought the cast in this were all excellent. They all played their roles perfectly. Louis Cornet, who played SpongeBob, was perfectly cast for the role. He had SpongeBob's voice and mannerisms down to a T. He definitely, I think, embodied SpongeBob. He was really good. Really enjoyed his performance of SpongeBob. He also had a really great voice as well. Like I said, in his solo song, Not Just a Simple Sponge, he gave a great performance. Really enjoyed his performance of that. Playing Patrick Star, you had Irfan Damani. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce his name. But he was really good as well. He was really funny, he had great comic timing, and I thought the relationship between SpongeBob and him played out really well on stage. You could tell that they were really good friends and really cared for each other, so I thought that was good. You also had a couple of star names in this show. You had Tom Reed-Wilson as Squidward and Divina De Campo as Plankton. Tom Reed-Wilson was actually really good as Squidward. I thought he played him really well, and my favourite part was when he did the tap dancing number, I'm Not a Loser. I thought that was excellent, really good. So yeah, he was really good in the role. Then we had Divina De Campo playing Plankton. Again, he played the evil villain really well. I've never seen Divina De Campo in anything. I've never watched RuPaul's Drag Race, so I didn't really know anything about him, but I thought he played the role excellently. He did actually do some rapping in the show, in the song When the Going Gets Tough, and he did really well in that. And then we also had Hannah Lauva in the ensemble, and she played Karen, the computer wife, as well. And she was really good as well. She didn't have like a massive part, but she did do a lot in the ensemble. Obviously, she's well known for TikTok, and she was also in the Heathers musical at the other palace as well. Okay, so I've mentioned a few of the cast members, but we'll go through the programme now, and I can show you the cast biographies as well. Okay, so this is the front cover of the programme. It says the SpongeBob Musical UK and Ireland Tour. We got some information about upcoming shows at the Palace and Opera House, some information about the Opera House. They have this in every programme, and I do think it's quite nice to have a bit of information on the theatre that is at. Then you got some adverts, and then we get on to the information about SpongeBob. So you have this, which is a SpongeBob history, which tells you a bit about the animated series, and then also goes on to tell you how the musical came about. And then you have the cast biographies. So the first one is Tom Reed-Wilson, who's playing Squidward. It says here, Tom Reed-Wilson is a TV presenter, actor, and acclaimed etymology enthusiast. So it said he graduated in musical theatre from the Royal Academy of Music. He's worked on Celebs Go Dating, so I have seen him in that. He's been on Celebrity Mastermind. I don't know if he's done any other theatre before this, it doesn't say, so yeah, but he was great. He was really good as Squidward. Then we have Divina De Campo playing Sheldon J. Plankton. So they are a drag superstar. They were a finalist in RuPaul's Drag Race season 1, and they were actually in a musical recently in Hedwig and the Angry Itch, which I really wanted to see, but I actually missed. It was on at the Home Theatre in Manchester, but unfortunately I missed that one. But apparently she was really, really good in that. And then we have the rest of the cast. So like I said, we have Louis Cornet as SpongeBob. He, like I said, was absolutely excellent in the role. He played him perfectly. So he's been in the Book of Mormon at the Prince of Wales Theatre. He's been in Titanic the musical. He's been in The King and I. So he's done a few theatre shows. And we had Irfan Damani playing Patrick Starr. He's been in The Grantster Granny and Billionaire Boy. Then we had Chrissy Beamer as Sandy Cheek. She's the squirrel that lives under the water. So she's been in Whistle Down the Wind and also The Witches of Eastwick. Then we had Sarah Freer as Pearl Krabs. She's been in Zog and the Flying Doctors. I actually think I saw her in Zog and the Flying Doctor. She does look familiar. I think she played the mermaid. I think I've seen her in that. Yeah, it was a 2022 tour, so yeah, I definitely saw her in that. She was actually really good in that. And she's also been in The Colour Purple as well. You had Theo Reese playing Larry the Lobster. Richard Dre Hunt playing Eugene Krabs. Reese Kerridge as Old Man Jenkins. Rebecca Leeswick as the Mayor. Eloise Davids as Mrs. Puff. Hannah Lauver as Karen the Computer. Reese Batten is the Swing and Dance Captain. Varaya Garava is a swing. Sam Beveridge is Patchy the Pirate and one of the electric skates. Jeremiah Olay is one of the electric skates. Eleanor Turansky is also an electric skate. They're the band members. Then you have Alex Germond as the French voiceover, and you have Richard Arnold as Peach Perkins. So he does the pre-recorded parts of the show where they have a reporter reporting on the upcoming volcano eruption, so he plays that part. So he isn't actually there on stage, his parts are pre-recorded. And then you've got some lovely cast photos. I love it when they have photos of the production in here. I think it's really nice. You don't often get them in the house programmes. So then you've got your cast list here. Understudy list. I don't think we had any understudies on. I didn't see anything saying that we did. And then you've got your creative team here. Yeah, creative team. A little illustration of one of the set designs. Some illustrations of the costumes. I have to say actually Squidward's costume was really good. They sort of had legs, extra legs sewn onto the back of his costume, so it looked like he had 4 legs, and then the way he walked with the costume looked really good, like the way the character walks. Then you've got lots more images from the show. These are really nice and colourful. It shows you just how bright and colourful the show is. It's really bright and colourful. It really makes you smile, I think, with all the colours. There's an image of Patrick and SpongeBob. I really liked the beanie actually that Patrick wore to make me look a bit more star-shaped. I thought that was really good. This is Tom Reed Wilson as Squidward in his tap dancing number. Got another picture of Patrick and SpongeBob, and then you've just got adverts. So that is the programme. So overall, I really enjoyed the show. There were some technical difficulties though during the show. There was actually a show stop, which I think was due to the screens which show the pre-recorded bits not working at one point, so I think that's why the show stopped. But they also had a lot of problems with the microphones. They weren't coming on in time, so you were missing some of the cast lines, and apparently that has been going on throughout the show. In Manchester, I've seen a few people that have been to see it before me, and they've said the same thing about the microphones. So I don't know if this is an ongoing thing with the whole show or if it's just something that's happened in Manchester. But yeah, it really wasn't good with the microphones. They were constantly just not coming on in time, so I don't know what the problem is with that. Hopefully they'll get it fixed for the rest of the tour, because it's touring till September, so they've still got a long way to go with the tour. So yeah, I really enjoyed this show. I thought it was a great family musical, great for the kids. I think kids will absolutely love the show. I actually wish I'd taken Alice with me, because I think she probably would have actually really liked this. She does watch SpongeBob sometimes, so I think she might have enjoyed the show. So yeah, I rated this show 4 stars. Definitely go and see it. It definitely put a smile on your face. It definitely cheered me up on a miserable Friday. I really enjoyed it, and like I said, the songs in this were excellent. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little theatre vlog and review. If you do enjoy theatre vlogs and reviews, I do loads on my channel, so do subscribe and hit the notification bell and be notified when my next vlog goes up. I am going to see Greatest Days next week, and then the week after I'm going to see Dirty Dancing. So if you'd like to see reviews for those, then do hit subscribe and hit the notification bell and you'll be notified when they go up. So like I said, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please do give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope to see you again soon. Bye.